Good morning, everyone. It is Futures Brizio. It is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. Happy leap year. And it's 8:30 a.m. New York City time, just about an hour before the North American session. Still technically pre-market session on a lot of these. So just a quick view of what's going on, and then sorry about that, guys. Getting an alert. Hold on 1 second for me. Hey guys, sorry I am back. Sorry for the interruption. Had a price alert on one of these things. So, all right. So, just looking at today's price action, we'll start over on soybeans. There's no trade on soybeans. Downtrend continues, but most of this happened during the overnight session, which is unusual. So, I did not get this, and so I probably won't see any trade in soybeans today unless there's a real short-term pullback and resumption of the downtrend. So I might keep an eye on these shorter time frames and see if there's another entry, but unfortunately there isn't one on the higher time frame, which is my preferred entry. So, but we'll keep an eye on it, maybe get a scalp on the short time frames. So live cattle market is not yet open. So this was the close from yesterday, and you can see this is about where it was when I made that video yesterday afternoon, which was in the lower end of this trading range that we've been in for about a week or so. So again, this is a pretty critical area. If we break out of here and get a definitive close below this low, then I might, be considering shorts, at least back down to this longer term area down here, but we'll have to see. You have to always be careful of fake out breakouts where the price will spike down. You'll get maybe one candle close below here, or sometimes not even one candle. It'll come down, and before the candle even closes, people see it break lower and they jump short, thinking they're going to get an early entry, and then it just reverses back and takes them out. Or you get one candle close below here, and then the very next one snaps back above the range. So, I'll be cautious at these breakout areas because, again, overall, we are still in an uptrend. So I want to always respect that uptrend, but we'll see what this does. If we get a close back above this little area on this shorter time frame here, I'm on the 10-minute time frame, then I'd probably be looking to get back long again, but we'll see. It's obviously just been struggling inside this little range right here. All right, so that's live cattle. Crude oil. So crude oil, again, overall, we are still in an uptrend, but it's been struggling a little bit. You can see it's just, it's come up to this area here, up around this $80, $79.50, $80 area, and it's pulled back, and now we've just been kind of moving sideways. It looks like it's trying to break higher today. We have this little resistance area right through here, which isn't really anything major, but, let's see what it does, because it came down, pulled up to here, so now we've established a range basically right inside of here. And so, let's see what this does. But, if not, then I probably, we'll leave this one alone. Like I said, it is trying to break higher, so we'll see what it does here. Again, you have to, respect the longer term time frame, which is still up, although it's at major resistance levels up here. If you look all the way across the chart, and like I said, even to the left where you guys can't see here, that area where it's resistance, where you can see was previous support. Even further back, if you go back to October or so. So this is definitely a critical level on the chart, which is why price is kicking around so much in here, because there's a lot of buying and selling and pushing and pulling of price, in this area. So I'll keep an eye on this one, but as long as it's in this range, I'm not interested in anything. But it's almost the opposite of live cattle. If we get a nice break above here, then I probably will look to establish a long, whereas live cattle, I was looking to see if it was going to break below out of the lower end of the range. So So we'll see how that goes. And then for the S&P and for NASDAQ, so we just had some news come out a little while ago. We had U.S. GDP, unemployment claims, which came out higher than expected, which gave a little boost up because with potentially more unemployment could be that, you know, the higher interest rates are still taking their toll and, you know, slowing down the economy a little bit, and, you know, potentially have the need for less interest rate hikes, which would therefore translate generally into a better stock market because there'd be more investment in equities instead of the U.S. dollar. I mean, that's the whole theory. So we'll see. We had this initial spike and then prices have pulled back, you know, into this, back into the range on the S&P. And also here on the NASDAQ, we can see here it is on the NASDAQ. It's a little bit more pronounced here. You can see this big spike up. Remember, this is a Heikin-Ashi candle, so even though it looks like it's pulled up and back, well, it probably has pulled back a little bit. But the way Heikin-Ashi candles are calculated, it's a little deceiving. If I try to overlay candles on here, it's the same color, so it might be hard to tell. But so this is, if you use a regular candlestick, the price is actually up here. So it does look like this is trying to break higher coming out of the news, but it is still pre-market session, which is can be a little bit of a concern. But sometimes you do get the follow-through, you know, into the New York session. So, you know, so I did open a position on this. I don't know why it's not showing. Let me see here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you can see I do have a position open here. I took it. I'm a little hesitant on it because it is the pre-market session. And sometimes you get follow through into when the New York session opens or the US session opens at 9:30, which is not for another 45 minutes. But sometimes you don't, and sometimes you get reversals at that time. So it's a little bit of a stretch trade for me because I don't usually like to trade these assets outside of the North American session. But this is definitely news driven, and that may very well carry over into New York, so into the North American session. So we'll see. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. So anyway, so that's it. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on crude oil because it looks like we're trying to break higher here out of this zone. And then I'll see what cattle does when cattle opens. And soybeans will either be a no-go today or potentially something on a shorter time frame maybe. So, all right. So leave it there, and maybe I'll make an update later on. And that's it. All right, guys. Have a good morning. We'll talk to you soon.